Hello guys and welcome back to Makeup FOMO. Today we are doing another foundation video, which as you know is one of my favorite things to do on this channel. Today we are talking about one I actually haven't heard anybody talk about this yet. I think Kathleen Lights mentioned it in one of her videos. I think she used it kind of recently, but I haven't seen videos about it or a ton of people talk about it, so I'm really excited to be sharing it with you guys today. We are going to be testing out the Essence Fresh and Fit Awake Makeup Healthy Glow with Vitamin Complex and Cranberry Water. This is what the packaging looks like. It's a glass bottle, and as you can see, it has a pump, which is so nice. I feel like almost all foundations at the drugstore are starting to come out with pumps now. I feel like before it used to be a luxury quality for a foundation to have a pump on it, but now I feel like it's kind of standard, which I think is fantastic. It just keeps it cleaner, makes it easier, allows you to control how much product you get, all that stuff. This comes with 1.01 fluid ounces, so you get 0.01 more than your standard foundation. And I grabbed the shade Fresh Honey, which is the third shade in the line. There's only 4 shades in the entire line, which obviously sucks. The darkest is a couple shades darker than this, so it stops right in the medium skin tone range. There's literally nothing for very deep, medium to deep, there's nothing. But the pale shades, I saw it online, so it's hard to tell, but the pale shades looked really pale, which is why I got the third shade, which is the second to darkest shade also, because the pale ones looked really pale, but it's impossible to tell online. So I grabbed this one. The bottle says that it's a breathable texture. It's weird to describe a texture as breathable, when you say a breathable formula, not a breathable texture, but it's a breathable texture with wake up effect. Let your skin, I don't know if this is English. Listen to this sentence. Breathable texture with wake up effect, let your skin healthy glow. And then there's a period. Contains a complex of vitamin B3, E, provitamin B5, and cranberry water, medium to high coverage without mask effect, exclamation point. So it's not going to be, I guess, cakey. Cranberry water is such a random ingredient, but it sounds awesome. I love the smell of cranberries. I don't know if it's going to smell like that, but I'm down for cranberries. And that's pretty much all it says. So I did order this from Ulta. That's the primary place where I get any of my Essence products. And as you know, Essence is a drugstore brand and a very, very affordable one at that. This retails for $6.99 on Ulta, so it's incredibly affordable. The claims online say pretty much the same thing. It just says that the Essence Fresh and Fit Awake Makeup gives skin a healthy, glowing complexion. Wake up your skin with light reflecting pigments. Medium coverage foundation is enriched with a vitamin complex and cranberry water. So on here it says medium coverage, and on here it says medium to high coverage. But there's light reflecting pigments, allegedly, which is cool. I'm all about the glowy look on my skin. My skin is normal to dry, so I'm all about, giving it whatever luminosity I can. I love that look. I have a spray tan on right now. I actually got it a week ago, exactly a week ago, and it is still on. I'm still pretty dark compared to my normal skin tone. I ordered this when I was not spray tanned, so I don't exactly know how it's going to match me, but because it is the second to darkest, and I did swatch it, and it does appear to be a little bit darker than my normal skin tone, so it might actually be a perfect match for the shade that I am right now. So it might work out. We might end up looking a little bit lighter, but we'll have to test it out. As I normally do, I'm going to do one side with a sponge, one side with a brush, just to compare how the two application methods look side by side. And let's do this. I zoomed you guys in a little bit. As you can probably tell, I have a little bit of eyeliner on, and my brows are kind of on. I'm really not good at removing my eye makeup, so this is just leftover from yesterday, but my skin is pretty much cleared off. So we're going to get started. I am really into this packaging. It's pretty simple, but I do like the font. I think that it's very cute. It's a nice glass bottle with the pump. It feels kind of heavy, so it feels it's a decent quality packaging, and it's only $6.99. So I do like that they didn't skimp a ton on the actual packaging for the product. I love Essence products. I liked pretty much everything I've tried from them, but I haven't tried a foundation or concealer or really many skin products from them. I have bronzers and blushes and highlights and things like that. So I was very excited when I saw this, especially considering it's $6.99. I was I have got to try that. I'm definitely disappointed in the shade range. I don't know how most people are going to find something for them in this range, but maybe they'll expand it. I just did a pump right out on my finger, and the pump goes like really far down, so you get a ton of product out in one pump. I'm going to just dot this on my face. Oh, it looks kind of light actually. I thought it was going to be a little darker, but I guess we'll just have to see. Ooh, it smells. It kind of smells like soap, or like, yeah, it smells like soap or like shampoo, or it smells kind of clean. I don't know if it's supposed to smell like cranberry though. The cranberry water might just be like a helpful ingredient. I don't know if it's like supposed to be scented, but it smells clean. I guess if you don't like smells, maybe you wouldn't like it, but it doesn't smell bad. Guys, I have like the biggest ears. Like, tell me my ears don't just like stick out. Like, my ears are so, like, why aren't they like flat and normal? That's why I hate like putting my hair behind my ears, because I look crazy. So I have my Wet n Wild just like flat top foundation brush. I really like this foundation brush. It's very dense and really good at blending foundation in. So I'm going to use this on this side. And as you guys know, I don't use primer, so I don't have any primer on, but my skin is like moisturized and all that. Okay, so we have exactly one pump down exactly half of my face. I don't know if you guys can tell, but like the first thing that I'm noticing is that this is definitely pretty luminous. Can you see like the light reflecting off the top of my cheekbone? But it's definitely a dewier foundation as opposed to like a matte foundation. So I got a little closer so you guys can see, but it definitely like evened everything out pretty nicely. I have like a little bit of a blemish here and one like right above my lip right here, and it definitely kind of just evened out all of the redness and kind of, you know, made my skin tone a little bit more even. But it didn't cover everything. Like, I did bring it under my eyes, and obviously you can see I have definitely a little bit of darkness still there, and you can still see, you know, a little bit of my skin coming through. So I guess it is like that medium coverage that it claims to be. I can already see it, like I literally just put it on, and I can already see it settling into my smile line over here. So I think that this might be a creaser, but it looks really good so far. And actually, we can compare this once I apply a bunch of my dots to this side of my face, but I definitely feel like it is oxidizing quite a bit. Like, it already looks like it's gotten darker. Because remember when I first put it on, I was like, oh shoot, like this is kind of light. But now it's looking like basically the same color as like the tan side of my face, and it looks like it's matching my neck. So I'm definitely thinking that this is oxidizing. I'm going to dot another pump all over this side of my face, the side that I'm going to use a sponge with, and then we're going to see how it looks when it just came out of the bottle versus the color on this side. So watch this pump, like it goes all the way down, and you kind of get a ton of product. So I think 2 pumps for like the whole face, that's pretty good. Okay, so I think we can kind of use this as like a test, because see how like light this comes out? Like, it looks quite pale, but like blended out, it's like matching my skin tone quite a bit. So I'm definitely thinking this is one that oxidizes, which in my case kind of works out because I needed it to oxidize because I'm a little darker than normal, but probably for most people that's not the goal. I am using my Real Techniques Diamond Sponge. I have been loving this. So, like, I've rediscovered this. I've always been really in love with this sponge, but I've been using it a ton lately, and I forgot, like, how much I love it, and it's, like, all I've been using to apply foundation lately. I haven't even really been using brushes to apply my foundation lately, which is weird for me because I almost always prefer brushes. So that just tells you, like, this is a good sponge. If you haven't tried this sponge, I definitely recommend it. So with this sponge, I think I got like slightly less coverage, nothing really noticeable, but definitely a little bit less. Like, I can still see just some of my like discoloration peeking through a little bit more. And I will say that this like really seems to emphasize my pores. Like, I have pretty noticeable pores as it is, but I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but like I feel like my pores just like right in this area are very noticeable, which is not really what I'm going for. But on a daily basis, I usually use like a pore filling primer just because like I know that's a problem that I have and most foundations show them. So I'm not really going to fault the foundation too much because my pores are just my pores. But yeah, 100% this is getting darker. It matches me actually kind of perfectly right now with the tan that I have. So it's looking really good. It's definitely pretty glowy. Yeah, you can see it even more on this side because I used the sponge, so it made it even dewier. It kind of feels like it's set. Like right here on my cheekbones, it feels still a little bit tacky, but like over here on the sides of my face, like it feels almost like I've already powdered it. You guys know I don't ever skip out on powdering, like no matter what the finish of a foundation is. I always powder my face. I just have to do it. I can't not. It will just freak me out to not have my face set. So I'm still going to set this. But I definitely think if you are someone that doesn't set foundation, you could probably skip out on that for this one. I definitely don't think it's accentuating any of my dry patches. The middle of my forehead is always super, super dry, but it's laying really nicely in that area, and it looks good everywhere else. Like, it's very even. It's not patchy. It doesn't look like a mask, kind of like it said. It's definitely not cakey. It looks, you can tell I'm wearing makeup, but it looks as skin-like as makeup can look, if that makes sense. Like, you can definitely tell I have something on my face, but you can still see enough of my skin through it where it doesn't look like I've layered a ton of foundation on. And that kind of is perfect for me because I want to be evened out and pretty covered, but not look like I have a whole bottle of foundation on my face. So I'm actually really liking how this looks so far. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my face and do like powder and bronzer and all that and just see how everything applies over it. Sometimes with concealers and powders, especially with ones that kind of set down, it can look a little bit powdery. So I'm definitely curious to see how that all works. So I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I just finished up the rest of my face makeup, but I think that my face makeup is looking really, really good. I really think, however, that this oxidizes like crazy. It matches me pretty perfectly right now, but if I was like any less tan, I definitely wouldn't be able to use this. However, we're kind of getting towards like spring and summer months at this point, so I think it might actually work out perfectly for me to hang on to it rather than like trying to get a different shade, because this will probably be pretty close to the shade that I am most of the spring and summer months. But everything blended really well on top of it. My highlight, ooh. Yes, actually, let me tell you what I have on my face in case you're curious. My highlight is the Casey Holmes and Smashbox highlighter, which I love. My blush, I'm kind of obsessed with. I love these LA Girl little just blushing blushes. And check out this shade. It is like kind of cray, I know, but I love purple blushes, and obviously you just use kind of a light hand, and I think it looks beautiful. My bronzer and like contour is the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and then the powder I used to set my whole face was the Coty Airspun powder, just because it's like translucent and it's not going to add coverage or really like change anything about the foundation. But I love the way that everything applied over top of it. Like, everything looks really, really smooth. It didn't have any problems with getting cakey once I put the powder on. I was a little bit concerned that it was going to look kind of powdery, but I always set my makeup with setting spray, and I used today the Makeup Revolution Pro Fix Illuminating Setting Spray, which I don't really know how much more luminous this makes you, but I do really like the smell of it, and I think it sets your makeup, and I definitely think that it helped take away the powdery look. It was a little bit powdery looking, but I think now it looks exactly how I'd want it to look, and I would pretty much never not use a setting spray, so this is kind of just the way I would wear it anyway. I didn't really need to spot conceal much. I put a tiny bit on my chin and like on the blemish here, but otherwise I didn't really have to add much concealer. Obviously I put some under my eyes, but I think that this covered really well. Really well. If you like a medium to full coverage, I definitely think that this is for you. I didn't build it up because I didn't think that it was going to be necessary, and I didn't want it to start getting cakey, even though it alleges that it's never mask-like. I don't think that I would have wanted to put any more on, because I feel like the 2 pumps I put on was actually quite a bit of product, and I had the amount of coverage that I was looking for. But you probably could build this up if you were looking for a little bit more coverage. I just don't know how natural it would look. I think it might start looking a little bit layered at that point. I definitely think after I put the powder on, it took away most of like the luminosity and like the light reflecting quality that I was supposed to have. So I don't know that, I guess if you didn't use powder to set it, because you probably could get away with not setting it, it might have held onto a little bit more of its luminosity, but I don't think it's like showing through. Plus I put a bunch of other highlight on anyway, so I think it's pretty much all the highlighter and not really the foundation doing that. This is definitely creasing in my smile lines already, which I just put it on, and I haven't been like smiling a ton. I've just been talking, and it's already sinking in like a lot right here and like a tiny bit up here. Like I've said before in other foundation videos, have a pretty big problem with that. I don't really hate it, like I said, because I mean, that means I just like talk and smile a lot, which I don't think is a bad thing, but it's definitely sinking in. So if you have an issue with that, this is probably going to do that to you too, but that's not really like a deal breaker for me because I'm pretty used to it by now. So overall, I think it's definitely safe to say that this is a win for me. This is a $7 foundation. It does not feel or look like a $7 foundation. I mean, foundation prices are just creeping up so much at the drugstore and starting to get into the $10, $12, $15 range. So if you can get something for half that price that works this well, why would you not? I highly recommend checking out Essence in general. I really like the brand, and I think that this foundation is such a win. I'm gonna have to see how it wears throughout the day, so I'll definitely update you guys in the description bar like I usually try to do, just to give you any additional information. But usually my first impression of a foundation is a pretty good indicator of what I think about it. Overall, I definitely think I can say that I recommend this foundation. They definitely need to get some more shades, so if you can't find yours, I'm definitely like sorry. I don't know why they're starting with 4, but I guess we can always hope for more. And you can probably pick up like a couple shades maybe if you need to mix them to make something work for you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I love doing these foundation first impressions for you guys, and I hope that you are liking them as well. If you've tried this foundation, share your thoughts below so we can all kind of help each other and share our opinions with each other. If you guys would like to subscribe, we would love to have you. We have so much fun here. And until next time, I'll catch you guys on our next video. Bye, guys.